Welcome into another edition of That's Deep. I'm Tommy Z, joined as always by Johnny Bravo. Coming off, interesting card last week. It was a rough night for me. I barely made it through half the card, so didn't get down all the bets that I wanted to, and it was what it was. But coming into this card, it's a pretty low level. I don't want to say low level, but yeah, low name value card. But we've got some finishers on the card. We've got some up and comers on the card. Changing of the guard possibly in our main event. We'll see. And yeah, it's another UFC card. It's fun to break down. So Johnny, how you feeling coming into this one?
Feeling good. No, coming off a decent card, some hit and miss. Hit some good live bets. Dubronx did his job. I mean, complete domination. Absolutely, just ragdolled Max. I mean, I didn't expect him to do that. I mean, he absolutely. I mean, just grounded him once he got to the body lock. It was Max was going for a ride, and he had no way to get back up. Not the most exciting of BMF title fights, but Charles did what he had to do to win. And yeah, we hit a big NASCAR race too that night. We hit Algier. It was a fun night. And yeah, looking here coming into this card, I mean, maybe not the best name value, but I mean, I don't think the card is that bad. There could be some spots here to make some money, and there's some entertaining fights here.
Yeah, for sure. And as always, I mean, we've got some pretty wide lines. So if you're looking to bet some underdogs, maybe you can take a couple shots here. But we'll jump right into it. Our first fight of the night is a rematch from a couple years ago. We got Piera Rodriguez taking on Sam Hughes. Piera, pretty explosive. She's very dangerous early. She does have a little bit of cardio issues. And Sam Hughes is always pretty steady. I mean, she's progressing. She's gotten better over the years. She's been in the UFC now for a good amount of time, 6-7 years. Never really shown to be a top level competitor, but she's got a lot of heart. She's got good cardio. She pushes a good pace, and she's always a pretty tough out. So rematch here. Sam Hughes, the dog. Piera won the first time they fought. Relatively close fight when it all broke down. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is a rematch, interesting one. Yeah, Sam Hughes, kind of that junkyard dog, puts a pace on you, just gonna grind on you. She'll fight for your money. She's gonna walk forward. She's gonna throw volume. The striking isn't great, but she throws. Grappling, not. I mean, she not really her style, but I mean, she can wrestle a little bit. I mean, she's kind of shown that, in her last couple fights. I mean, she's on a nice little streak here, a little 3-fight win streak. I think she was underdog in almost all of her fights. I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah, except maybe the Shauna Bannon fight, she was a favorite, I think, in that one, and she pretty much just ran right through her. Yeah, and Sam Hughes is a good dog to bat. She'll fight for your money, and she'll put up a scrap, and she's got really good cardio, and she'll be there in the third round. And Piera Rodriguez is, I mean, she's okay. I mean, she's got some real good kind of technical boxing, good striking. She can wrestle a little bit. I mean, that's kind of what in the first fight. I mean, she kind of, I think, banked these close rounds by locking in those takedowns at timely moments. Couldn't really hold Sam Hughes down for much, but I mean, if in a close round, if you bank that takedown at the end of the round, you probably steal it. Yeah, this is an interesting one. I don't know where to go here. The first fight was kind of super close. It was hard to split, but Piera getting those timely takedowns, I think, maybe stole a couple of the rounds. So yeah, I don't know where to go with this one. The money line, I think I gotta maybe take the shot here on Sam Hughes to get revenge and tie this up 1-1. I like the improvement she's made, and yeah, I think she can be live here as like a +140 dog. So yeah, give me. I'll probably take the shot on Sam Hughes.
Yeah, I agree. I like Sam Hughes here. The first fight was pretty close. I mean, Sam won the later parts of the fight, and it was not like a dominant overall start for Piera. I mean, so, Sam basically just has to get off to a quicker start, and maybe snag the first round, or grab the second round. I feel like she's definitely going to win the third round. I think she's got the better cardio, and I think she's really recently. I mean, she's shown her skills have improved. She's not a great striker, but she does throw volume, and she's not afraid to take a couple shots to land some shots. So she keeps coming forward, and yeah, overall, I mean, it's a close fight. It's a toss up type fight. Yeah, give me the underdog here all day. Sam Hughes cashes as a dog more often than most fighters, so it's not going to hurt my feelings going into this one with a Sam Hughes ticket to start the night. All right, our next fight is in the bantamweight division. We got Elijah Smith taking on Su Young Yu. Yu is a pretty solid grappler. He does land takedowns. Elijah Smith, pretty well rounded. He's explosive. Overall, pretty good game. He's fought some decent level competition. I'd say probably the better of the two, but still two young guys here. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, this should be a fun one. You got Elijah Smith. I really like the potential on this kid. I mean, he's looked really good. I mean, he's got really clean, crisp boxing. He comes from a wrestling background. His dad was in the tough house before, so he's got that MMA experience in his corner. He's got the wrestling he can go to. He's a really strong boxer. Yeah, I question though some of his cardio. Sometimes he kind of seems to kind of slow down in fights, and a lot of the times also he puts himself in some dangerous spots in the grappling department. Like, in a couple of his last recent fights, he was in a couple deep submissions, but he was able to fight through it. Like, Vince Morales, I thought almost had him dead to rights, and he was able to work his way out of that submission and end up doing what he had to do and won that fight. And the Kazama fight, the Kazama actually had him in a submission lock and then he just pretty much picked him up, power slammed him, and knocked him out, which was pretty sick. Yeah, I think there's some upside on this kid. I think he's pretty good. And then Jusang Yu is, I mean, he's okay. I mean, he's kind of low volume on the feet. The striking isn't really that great. It's okay. It's there. I mean, he absolutely starts Jekka Sergi. But I mean, I think anybody can almost starch that guy.
Right.
And yeah, his nickname is Jiu-Jitsu. So, I mean, he's going to kind of want to get to the ground and kind of want to get the grappling going. That would be my fear here, is if maybe Smith puts himself in a dangerous position when he's kind of tired later on in the fight, and maybe you can kind of lock something up. But if this stays on the feet, I think Smith just boxes his head off and just pieces him up and does what he has to do. It's probably lean Smith by decision, but yeah, I'll probably have Smith in a couple parlays this weekend.
Yeah, I like Smith as well. Just the more explosive of the two. Overall well-rounded skill set. The cardio not necessarily the greatest, but not a guy that really pushes a heavy pace, so I'm not really too worried about that. Usually when your cardio falls off, you worry about getting walked down and getting picked apart, but I don't see that happening. I mean, maybe he gets taken down late in the fight, but I don't know if that's going to be enough to sway anything. So yeah, I like Elijah here. I think he gets it done. And yeah, just to me, the more active, the more explosive of the two, and should find a way to get it done. All right, moving right along, we've got a women's bantamweight bout. Bia Mesquita takes on Monse Rendon. Two fighters with pretty solid records. We got 6-0 and 7-1, but A lot of questions with these two fighters. Mosquita is known for her jiu-jitsu. That's supposed to be her bread and butter. But I've seen some question marks with that so far. And Rendon, she's big. I mean, she's big. You can't say anything other than that. She throws kind of clubbing strikes. She's a bit sluggish on the feet, but her size does kind of help her in a lot of fights. Mosquito probably going to want to take it to the ground and work that jujitsu, but I don't know. Two fighters with definitely some holes in their game. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, Bia Mesquita, the world champion, BJJ practitioner, really like credentialed. Transitioning her way into MMA, and it kind of shows like we see with these BJJ players is there's the striking is not the greatest. It's pretty ugly on the feet, but she does pack some power. The offensive wrestling maybe isn't like greatest, but man, if she gets it to the mat, it's pretty much a wrap. I mean, because on the mat she's absolutely elite, but getting it there is kind of a problem for her from what I've seen in previous fights. I mean, the last fight, she absolutely ran through the girl. So maybe she's making some improvements there, but it's Lesnia Ziznikova or Irina Lesniakova. So she's not the greatest. So she was able to take her down and pretty much just do whatever she wanted. And Rendon is, I don't think she's very good either. She had a pretty much, Alice Pereira was like 19 years old and had fought absolutely nobody, and she was able to just kind of weather the early storm and just out cardio her and just use her basic skills to just just piece her up and just be the more bigger and physical and the grown woman in there and just do what she had to do, and won that fight pretty easily as a dog. I don't know. Mosquita's she's minus 600. I don't know what you can do with that. I guess you play the sub. That would be the easiest path to go here if she gets her down. But like you said, Rendon's a pretty big girl, so this is going to be a big size advantage here. Rendon's going to pretty much tower over Mosquita. So is she going to have problems getting her down? And then if it's on the feet for 15 minutes, I think Rendon's probably a favorite here. I don't know. I guess you probably. If it hits the mat, it's probably instantly over. So you probably, if you're playing Bia, you probably just play the sub. I don't see her knocking her out unless she gets on top and gets to mount and just pounds her away. But yeah, her path here is, it's pretty much one path is pretty much a Mosquita sub. So I don't know. I'm going to pick her, but I don't know if I'm going to bet it or not. Minus 120 on a sub prop isn't the most fun to bet. You know what I mean? But right. She should get it done. But maybe this might be a live betting spot where you watch and see if she can't get her takedowns and it's kind of on the feet, then maybe you take a shot on Rendon. But yeah, I guess it's Mosquito by sub, but I don't really feel great about it.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to look at it. Maybe she has trouble getting the takedowns early and then gets them late. So there's the decision prop in there. But yeah, that's a big money line. Obviously, you're not going to bet that. You're not going to put that into anything. Still pretty low level women's MMA. So, yeah, I think Mosquita, if she gets it to the ground, early, the sub is very live because, she's definitely got a much higher skill set there. But, yeah, I don't know. It's if she has trouble getting it down early, does she tire out a little bit? And then kind of when she does get it to the mat, maybe not be as effective. I don't know. But I think I would look at it first with the sub. That's probably the best way to go. Um, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's it. But minus 120, even that's like, don't love that either. So
No.
yeah, I don't know. This is a tough fight. Tough fight. I mean, I think Mosquito wins, but I'm not running to place a bet on this fight by any stretch.
No.
All right, moving right along to pretty solid one here in the bantamweight division. We got Luan Lacerda taking on Hector Souza. Souza making his debut off the Contender Series. He's a high-paced grappling type fighter, likes to get the fight to the mat. Lacerda, no slouch on the mat himself. He's got 11 wins by submission. So two guys that are not afraid to grapple. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I mean, Hector Souza, I mean, impressive, had a pretty decent performance on the Contender Series, had a really interesting, like, backstory. I mean, I guess his dad, like, died just, like, a couple days before his debut or something like that, and, Dana White wrote him a note, like, make your name worth something, and he got that tatted on him, and, it's kind of a good story, and he's got some skills. Like you said, he's a high-paced fighter. He throws, he's a pretty decent striker, good volume, good grappling. I mean, he's well-rounded. I think, he looks pretty good on tape. I mean, from what I see. And yeah, Luan Lacerda is, I'm not too high on this guy. I mean, I guess, he's a pretty decent grappler. He can mix in the takedowns. I mean, the striking is pretty rudimentary, pretty basic, not the greatest. Terrible, absolutely terrible cardio. Has probably maybe like 6 minutes of cardio, and then he just absolutely falls off a cliff. He submitted Simon Oliveira in his last fight. I mean, everybody should be beating Simon Oliveira. Yeah, and then Damon Blackshear, a knockout loss. I mean, the Cody Stamann fight was kind of like, I don't know, that was pretty terrible fight. And he lost that one. I'm just not a fan of Lacerda. I don't know. I don't think he's very good. I don't think he's UFC level. I like this kid, Hector Souza. I think he can be pretty decent in the UFC and maybe make a little bit of noise. But yeah, give me Souza here, probably by decision or maybe a late finish. But yeah, I like Souza here.
Yeah, I like him too. I have a little pause with the the debut. I always get a little hesitant, but overall, I mean, he's aggressive, knows what he wants to do, and goes for it, which I do like. So, I think he's going to go for the grappling. Lacerda, like I said, I mean, he's got 11 wins by sub, so he's definitely no slouch on the ground. But yeah, I think Souza just imposes his will and finds a way to get it done. So I'm gonna ride with Souza as well. All right, our next fight on the card is in the lightweight division. We got Balaji Oki taking on Manuel Souza. Oki is a guy that looks like an absolute killer, and he's got a very good skill set. He's had big moments in all of his fights in the UFC, but just seems to be missing something. There's just something missing in his game. Souza, another guy, I think is he making his debut?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's making his debut as well. So, Oki's got a little experience in the UFC. That could help him here. But Souza, well-rounded guy. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, Balaji Oki. I mean, you look at him; he's a physical specimen. Like the guy is, chiseled out of stone. I mean, but then you see him in the octagon and fights, and like you said, like I kind of agree with you. He's just missing something. Like in his last fight, it was who was it? It was Mason Jones, where I mean, he drops and rocks Mason Jones, and then just absolutely like didn't get the finish and just kind of gassed himself out and just fell apart. That wasn't a great look. I was on Mason Jones, so thankful for that. The Timothy Kwamba fight was like Timothy Kwamba took that fight on like short notice and kind of just like went tit for tat with them. It was kind of like, I don't know, it was kind of a weird performance there, and it's just kind of had up and down performances in the UFC. Like and then the Chris Duncan fight, he just kind of shoots himself into a guillotine there. I mean, we know Chris Duncan now is obviously pretty good, and he has a pretty good guillotine. But yeah, Oki, I mean, he's got, he's a decent striker. He can crack on the feet. Not the greatest of wrestlers, but he can wrestle. He can get a takedown if he needs to. But yeah, I mean, these guys are probably going to bang it out on the feet. And Souza, really, this kid is he's an interesting prospect. He's a really, really good kind of technical striker. I mean, big power in his hands. Can absolutely knock you out. And he can grapple too. So like you said, he's a well-rounded guy. It is his debut, so that's always a pause. You really don't know what to expect, or how these guys are going to handle it. But it's not in the big arena. I think this is coming in. He's where he got his Contender Series win. So I mean, it's probably going to feel similar to that. So I mean, I kind of fear when guys are kind of in that big crowd and they've got and they kind of they go out there and they kind of adrenaline dump, and maybe they're not ready for that big stage. But this is the apex. I don't really have too much, concern about it. So, yeah, I don't know. I just can't trust Vallejos Oki off what I see. I think Manuel Souza, he's just a way more technical striker and has big power. I think he probably knocks out Oki here and puts him to sleep.
Yeah, I like Souza as well. I mean, good movement, good striking, kind of has that karate style on the feet. And yeah, I don't know, man. I just something about Oki. I don't know. It just feels like something's missing. I mean, he's lost to a couple tough guys in the UFC, so you can't really knock him too much for that. But yeah, I don't know. I think he's just another guy that maybe mentally he struggles. And it could be wrong, but we'll see. I kind of need to see something different than what we've seen so far. So yeah, I like Souza as well. I mean, decent sized favorite here. So I mean, maybe look for a finish in this one, but it's another one that not overly excited about.
Over under is 2.5 shaded to the under. So they don't expect it. The books don't expect it, Bill. But
I could see
a lot of these fights. A lot of these fights that we think are going to finish lately have not been finishing. These absolutely to start the year, the finish rate has been absolutely fucking terrible. Like guys just aren't getting finishes where you think they should. Like fucking Dante Johnson can't fucking knock out Cody Brundage. Like,
right.
I mean, he takes Cody Brundage to a decision, which is absolutely fucking crazy. So, I mean, a lot of these fights where these big favorites, they're not getting finishes. They're going to decisions. So that's another thing to watch out too for is a lot of these fights aren't finishing. It's like the lowest finish rate, I think. I mean, to start a year in the UFC was something that I read before. So,
yeah, I could see it here too. If Sosa, if Sosa comes out strong and has big moments. It is his UFC debut, so like you said, it's not a big crowd or anything like that, but it is still the UFC debut. So maybe looking to make a splash, doesn't get it done. I could easily see it just going all 3 rounds if he slows down a little bit. And Oki,
I could see like a low volume tit for tat kind of fucking.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we could see the over. We could see the over hit in this one. But yeah, I mean, it's fight. I kind of want to watch it and see. I kind of want to see what Oki is really all about. I feel like this is potentially a bit of a step down from the couple guys he's fought in the UFC. So, but we'll see. I think Sosa probably gets it done. I just like the movement, the fight IQ. I think it's enough to win this one. All right, we move on to the middleweight division, actually welterweight division. We got Chris Curtis taking on Miktabek Orolbai. Chris Curtis is a guy that he's got very good striking, very solid defense. He's been in some fights that I thought he should have won and just didn't quite get the decision. But, sometimes that's part of his problem. He leaves these things up to the judges. He doesn't necessarily go for the kill all the time. He's willing to take some strikes early and lose the first round. And, bad things happen when that happens. Taking on Orolbai here, who's, very well-rounded guy. He's got big power. Saw him knock out Jack Hermanson with ease. Hermanson was dropping down a welterweight. That did not go well for him. But Orolbai, he's been on a nice run. He's got good power. He's got a well-rounded skill set. Chris Curtis, he's kind of straightforward. He comes forward. He throws punches. He parries a lot. And, he has solid takedown defense. But we have seen the takedown defense be cracked a little bit. He's been taken down in some fights recently. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this should be a fun one. I'm looking forward to this one. We pretty much know what we're getting out of Chris Curtis. He's a technical, boxer. He doesn't really use leg kicks. He's kind of low volume, but when he lets his hands go, he's got really good striking, really good boxing, good counter puncher, kind of low volume, good cardio. Doesn't really throw a lot of volume. That's the kind of one knock on him, is he really doesn't let his hands go, and he's kind of just more like a technical tit for tat kind of counter striker, which kind of, to his detriment, kind of leads him to kind of lose a lot of these close fights because the volume just isn't there. And like you said, the takedown defense has kind of been cracked. We've seen him taken down by Brandon Allen, got some takedowns in their fight. What was the other one? I think the Imavov fight. I think Imavov was getting takedowns too in that fight. And just he's just kind of hit or miss, man. He's getting up there in age. He's almost, 40 years old now? Yeah, 40.
Yeah.
38. He's 38 years old. He's getting up there in age. He's been fighting a long time. I don't know what to make of Chris Curtis nowadays. And Orolbai is kind of just he's a caveman. He looks like a caveman, and he fights kind of like a caveman. He just kind of just powers his way forward, just walks through whatever you're throwing, throws pretty decent volume, throws big power, really good grappling, can go for takedowns, really good top control. Decently well-rounded. I like Orolbai here. I just think Chris Curtis is a little bit past it. I think he just doesn't do enough. He just doesn't throw enough volume. But he does have power. So I could see him kind of maybe catching a counter and putting Orolbai out. But as long as Orolbai stays on his P's and Q's, doesn't get hit with one of those counter shots, I think he just pushes the pace on him, gets takedowns, mixes in the grappling, and just beats up Chris Curtis pretty easily. I like Orolbai a lot here. So yeah, it's one of my more favorite bets on the card is Orolbai.
Yeah, me too. I just like. His overall game is really good. He has big power. He does have some snap. He's well rounded. He can mix the takedowns in. If the takedowns don't work, the striking's fine. He pushes a decent pace. He's got pretty good size, pretty rangy. Yeah, overall, Orolbai, very, very good, solid overall fighter. And Chris Curtis, I really like him. He's a guy that's won as an underdog a lot in the UFC. He's 5 years ago or so, he just would walk forward and put a pace on guys later in fights and just do good work. But I don't know, he's been beat up a lot. He's had some rough rough situations. A couple fights where fouls came into play, which kind of screwed up everything. But yeah, I mean, just taking a decent amount of damage, and yeah, I don't know. Just again, like he's a guy that's really good. He trains with Sean Strickland, or he did. I know they were really
He
good
does.
friends.
He's
It's
still
been a
at
little.
Extreme Couture.
Is he still over there? They've been
Yeah.
a little hot and cold. I've seen the last year or so, but I think they're still friends. So I mean, I'm sure they're still sparring. But yeah, just not quite. Just never really quite got to that level that Strickland got to.
Well,
but,
he also
yeah,
came in the UFC kind of late. You know, he went through. He was a kind of a PFL guy, and then like a Canadian regional scene guy. I usually back Curtis as a dog, but I just can't do it anymore. I usually like backing him as a dog because he, he's always in the fight.
But it just feels like recently, like you're more than likely going to drop the first round.
And then if the fight isn't going his way, he bitches and cries and
crying. Oh, come on! Yeah, and it's just right. That's exactly right. So, yeah, you just can't expect him. You kind of need him to win by knockout. I feel like for him to win fights, and I just don't. I mean, he can. He's got the power. He can certainly do it, but I'm just not. I don't know. I just don't trust it in 2026. So oral bye for me as well. All right. Speaking of fighting in 2026 and not really two names you would think to see, but Brad Tavares and Eric Anders are still going at it. Tavares, vet of the UFC for many, many years. Actually, both of them. I mean, Anders has been around, I feel like over 10 years now. Both guys up there in age. Tavares has always had a pretty well-rounded skill set, very heavy leg kicks, pretty solid takedown defense. Anders likes to push it up against the cage, kind of that grimy fight, wear on guys, beat them up in the clinch. Yeah, I mean, two aging vets here. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, two washed old men that somehow you already know this is going to be an absolutely terrible and boring fight. This is probably the worst fight on the card if we're being honest all together. This is two low volume kind of guys. This is Anders, retirement fight. So, who knows what that's going to bring. What Anders is going to want to do. He's going to want to, I guess he's got some decent power, but I mean, he throws no volume. What he's going to want to do is he's going to want to push you up against the cage. He's going to cage push you and try to like grapple you up on the cage. And that's pretty much what he does. That's what he resorts to. He's a big, strong, physical guy. And yeah, he's going to take you out of your realm. He's going to push you on the cage, kind of try to grind on you, wear on you, and probably sneak out a decision. I don't really see him knocking anybody out nowadays. So, I mean, Chris Weidman that hurt him? I think, Chris Weidman, I think, dropped him.
I think Weidman landed a good shot.
Yeah, it was the Weidman. Yeah, Weidman. He did knock out Chris Weidman, but but it's who knows? This is his retirement fight. Who knows what he's bringing to the table here? I mean, fighters never really, you never really go out unless you're like Robbie Lawler and you go out like that in your retirement fight. It usually typically doesn't end well for people, in their retirement fights, especially when they're already announced it. They already have it in their mind. This is their last fight. How motivated is he to go out there and get a win? And, Brad Tavares is kind of one of these guys, just, he's a good striker, who throws the leg kicks, really solid takedown defense, hard to take down. Used to have a clad iron chin, but I mean, we've seen the chin kind of be cracked before. So that's, you can't really count on the durability too much anymore, but I don't know what he really has coming back here from Anders. I don't know. This is going to be an absolutely terrible fight. I'm going to pick Tavares, but yeah, I won't be betting this fight.
Yeah, I agree. I think Tavares wins. I just think he can win just a technical battle. He's gonna just win the striking battle. He does have nasty leg kicks. Anders is a southpaw, so that does kind of take away a little bit from the leg kicks. But we have seen Anders get his legs kicked off in the past. Cleo Roundtree absolutely just wiped him out with leg kicks. So it's definitely not out of the realm that the leg kicks do come into play here. But yeah, I think Tavares. I just think Tavares just has the better skill set to win this fight, and he's not going to get pushed around. I mean, he's strong. He's always had good takedown defense, and Tavares by decision. I mean, that's the way I would bet this fight if I was going to bet it. But there's a good chance that I just sit back and watch, and maybe enjoy. Well, who knows?
Enjoy.
Maybe you never know. But hey, listen, we got a high-paced, heavyweight, elite skill fight to break down here. We got Vitor Petrino taking Steven Asplund. So if you want to cleanse the palate, this may not be the fight to do it, but it's the next fight on the card. So we got Vitor Petrino, who's looked like an absolute giant since moving up to heavyweight, and Steven Asplund, who's he's a tough dude, and he's a guy that was extremely overweight, lost a lot of weight, became a fighter, and that's how he did lose a lot of his weight. And he's shown that he's a tough guy. He's got some big power. I mean, this is a UFC heavyweight in 2026. So what do you got for us?
Yeah, this should be a fun one. I mean, Steven Asplund, I mean, how can you not like the guy? The guy's, big fat guy, gets in there, plays with his titties, and goes out there and, he fights. I mean, he's going to walk forward. He's going to throw volume. I mean, for a big fat guy, I mean, he's got fucking cardio. He can go 3 hard rounds. I mean, his last fight was, he threw like 100 strikes, I think, in 1 round, which was against it was Sean Sharef. I think he threw like 100 strikes and like landed 100 in 1 round. I don't know the quite exact amount, but it was a lot. I mean, so he's got good volume. He's got good cardio. He can go 15 strong minutes. And but just like maybe the grappling isn't the greatest. I mean, because we've seen Denzel Freeman, who is absolutely dog water, just take him down and just choke him out pretty easily. But that was a few years ago. You would think that he'd kind of be, in working on that aspect of his game, But yeah, he's a really, high volume, high pace, striker. He's decent for what it is for the heavyweight division, I guess. And Pacino, kind of built like a fucking. Built like The Rock, kind of just built like out of chiseled fucking just like, the guy's built fucking well. And since moving up to heavyweight, he's just been kind of running through these kind of shitty heavyweights. I mean, the Thomas Peterson fight was, in his last fight, it wasn't the greatest of looks. Like, he was not doing very well in that fight until he absolutely caught him and put him out, which was kind of impressive. And then he fought Austin Lane, which, he pretty much took Austin Lane. I mean, Austin Lane is, absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
So he was able to take him down and just choke him out. So, I don't know. This should be a fun fight. I'm kind of looking forward to this one. It's going to be kind of a mean fight. I mean, if Asplund can avoid it, if Petrino gets the takedowns, also another thing, too, is Petrino, I guess he said he hadn't been training grappling in his like a month leading up to this fight. I guess he had an injury or something, a broken hand. So that's kind of questionable there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he hadn't been able to train for a month leading up to this fight, and he had a broken hand coming in. So, I don't like to hear that when a guy says that, and Petrino, he's a big guy, but the cardio is pretty shit. Going on later into the fight, he kind of is a gas bag. But he has power in his hands, and if he gets it to the mat, he can be dangerous. But I don't know, man. I kind of like this Asplund guy, man. Just to put the pace on him and just kind of if he can avoid the grappling situations, man, I think he could be live here, man, and keep it on the feet and kind of just out cardio this Petrino, because we've seen Petrino just absolutely death gas and look terrible. So, I mean, if he can avoid the ground like lava, then I think Aslan could be live here. Yeah, I might take a shot on Aslan here to get the job done at a pretty big dog number, low-level heavyweights. If he doesn't get grapple fucked, I think he's live here. So
yeah,
I agree. I'll go with Aslan here. I'll go with Aslan. Fuck it.
Yeah, because I mean, when you really break it down, like if this fight gets into the third round, you're probably picking Aslan to win this fight, and you know he's a big, strong dude, so you know he can avoid a takedown or two, and if he's able to do that, he's got big power on the feet. He's a pretty durable guy. I mean, he can take some shots. So, yeah, I like it. I like Asplund here. I think he can find a way to get it done. And yeah, I don't know, Petrino. There's some question marks, you know, with the hand, and who knows. And if hasn't been training as much as you know he should be, the cardio is probably going to be worse than you know we've seen in the past, which has not been great. So, yeah, give me Asplund here as well.
Go.
All right, our next fight is in the flyweight division, and when I saw this fight pop up, I was like, didn't Charles Johnson just get knocked out like 2 weeks ago? It feels like it was just yesterday that he was getting knocked out by Perez. Yeah. I guess it was, you know, the beginning of the year, but still not that long ago. But, you know, we got Charles Johnson, who's a big dude for the division. He's long. He's rangy. He's got wins over Van.
6 weeks ago.
Yeah, 6 weeks ago. Yeah. But, I mean, it doesn't even feel like it was 6 weeks ago. These cards all blend together so much. But he's got knockout wins over Josh Van, the current champ, and Loner Kavanaugh, who just had a great performance. So the guy knocks out really good fighters, and which is crazy because he really hasn't shown knockout power for most of his UFC career. And then, you know, he gets knocked out by Perez, just got steamrolled in that fight, never really had a chance. And he's taking on Bruno Silva here, who's, you know, a smaller guy, but packs a big punch. He's tough as nails, very well-rounded skill set. He's trained with Cejudo for years. You know, he's a dog. You know, Bruno Silva also fought Josh Van, got kind of beat to hell in that fight, but did show a lot of toughness and never stopped coming forward. So, I don't know, interesting matchup here with Johnson coming off that knockout. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I don't know what to make of Johnson. I mean, like you said, he has wins over the win over Van was. I mean, that was kind of fluky because he was kind of, you know, getting his ass beat in that fight, and then kind of just hit him with that lucky shot and put him away. And you know, in the Loner Kavanaugh fight, kind of the same thing. Where I mean, Kavanaugh. I mean, in the first round, Kavanaugh was absolutely fucking working him, beat the shit out of him, almost fucking finished him. And kind of just gassed out. Went grappling heavily approach in like the second round, and kind of just gassed himself out, which led to Johnson getting that late knockout. Which, I mean, yeah, I mean he's got wins over Van and Kavanaugh, but he's also lost to guys that aren't very good. I mean, he's kind of he's lost to Tamarov, he was juiced up on roids, and then Rafael Esteban, not the greatest loss. Lost to Cody Durden. You lose to Cody Durden, dude? Like, I mean, Ode Osborne, you lose a decision to Ode Osborne. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess Charles Johnson. I mean, he's okay. He's a slow starter, though. That's one thing for sure. Is he usually drops that first round and then kind of, turns it up late in the rounds, 2 and 3. That's usually his MO. He's a good striker. Low volume in the first round, but he'll put a pace on you in the later rounds. Good cardio. People always talked about how, oh, this guy in a 5-round fight, he gets better as the fight goes. We want to see him in a 5-round fight. Well, you ain't never going to get to a 5-round fight. You keep getting knocked out by fucking Alex Perez. I mean, that performance was, I don't even know what to make of that performance. It was pretty pathetic. I mean, Alex Perez, is not known for his power, and he was fucking dancing all over the fucking octagon. Pretty bad. I mean, he dropped him like 3 or 4 times, had his legs all wobbly. This is a pretty short turnaround here for him, and I don't really know what to make of it. And, you got Bruno Bulldog Silva, I kind of like him. He's a good fighter. The Cody Durden fight, he struggled early in that fight and then was able to come back, and absolutely starched him and put him away. His skill set, he's a pretty good striker. He's got good power in his hands for the division. He can wrestle a little bit, if he has to. But yeah, like the Van fight, he started off well against Van, and then Van kind of did what he did and kind of turned it up and was able to just work the body and just wear on him through over 3 rounds. The only knock about Bruno Silva that I don't really like is that he slows down the later the fight goes. Kind of the cardio is kind of a question mark, and that's kind of a concern, But we've seen him go 3 hard rounds before, so I don't know, man. I'm not backing Charles Johnson after he just took a bunch of my money just a month and a half ago. So yeah, I got to ride with my boy Bruno here to get the job done. I think this is just too fast, too soon for Charles Johnson, man. Yeah, give me Bruno Silva here.
Yeah, I agree. I think Silva's very durable, and it's not like Charles Johnson does have those knockout wins, but like you said, the Van one was. It seemed like he just kind of caught him, and it just was what it was. The Kavanaugh fight, Kavanaugh kind of did slow down, and then, but that's you got to give Charles Johnson credit. That's kind of what he does. He hangs in fights, and he's good late. But I don't know, man. Coming off that knockout, and it was bad. He was definitely in a bad spot. He was dancing all over the cage, and he got rocked real bad. And Bruno Silva has the ability to crack him. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. And Bruno Silva's explosive. He comes out early, and he can land some big shots early. And even though Silva, we have seen him slow down at times in the past, he does generally fight pretty well. That Cody Durden fight, Durden came out guns blazing in that fight. He's putting it on him. And, he was down. I think, was that a 3rd round knockout? Because I think he was down 2 rounds.
Second round. No, it was a second round knockout.
It was late. Yeah. It was late second then, because Durden was doing good work in the second round as well. And then he just turned the tides and, got that job done. And Durden hasn't had much success since then. That took a little bit out of him. But yeah, I don't know. I think Bruno Silva, he's extremely dangerous. He's well-rounded. He could land takedowns. Charles Johnson can be taken down. He gets up. He's got a good get-up game. But, Silva could land some takedowns here, maybe sneak a round or 2 that way. And yeah, I think it's a really close fight, with a guy coming off a knockout loss. I like Bruno Silva here. I'll take the shot there. All right. Our next fight is in the featherweight division. We've got, if I can get this up, there we go. We got Marwan Rahiki taking on Harry Hardwick. Rahiki making his UFC debut. Hardwick, we saw he had a tough debut in his debut in his last fight. Short notice fight for him. Got his legs absolutely butchered in that fight. Ended up getting finished TKO style by leg kicks. Rahiki is a guy that, he looks the part, and he's got a pretty well-rounded skill set. Hardwick, I don't know. He comes forward. You give him that. Like he's definitely a guy that's going to come forward and trade. But I don't know how much he actually offers in terms of overall skill. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, Harry Hardwick, rough debut, former, Cage Warriors champion, another one of these Cage Warriors guys coming over to the UFC and not living up to expectations. He got his legs absolutely destroyed. He stepped in those 5 day notice, stepping in. I think it was in Qatar, right? It was in somewhere in Saudi.
Yeah.
Was it the Qatar card? The Imavov fight. So, yeah, it was the Imavov it was on Imavov Barolo. So yeah, I think it was on the Qatar card or one of those cards. And yeah, came in short notice. Just and absolutely showed nothing. Got kind of mean. He's the guy that got wheeled out in a wheelchair, which was pretty funny. I mean, he got his legs absolutely destroyed, and then he got wheeled out. So it's not a great look. I mean, but he's, I mean, I don't know what he brings. He kind of just, he's a pretty decent striker. He walks forward. I mean, his Cage Warrior tape is, I mean, he was a champion over there. I mean, he looks good, but I mean, almost everybody looks good over in Cage Warriors that before they come over here. Yeah, I'm not sure what to make of that first fight. It was just really weird, and I don't know if I want to hold it against him because it was short notice, but it's just not a great look. And then Rahiki, I mean, massive favorite on the Contender Series, and I mean that fight. I mean, he almost got finished like 5 times in that fight. He got rocked and dropped
twice.
and hurt, and he battled back and ended up fucking landing a pretty fucking sick knockout. You know what he's going to do? I mean, he's really, really talented, explosive striker, big power. I don't know but I don't think his takedown defense is very good. The chin, I don't know. The dude he was fighting was kind of a big dude that could crack. So I don't know if Hardwick really possesses that kind of power to maybe hurt Rahiki, but I don't know. Going into that fight before, I mean, I'm not too sure what to make of these guys. Either one of them, I really don't know. But I just think Rahiki's probably has the more power and is the more explosive kind of guy. But I don't really have a good read on this fight, to be honest. But if I had to pick, it was probably be Rahiki by knockout. But yeah, I don't really have a good read on this one. I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, it is tough because Hardwick did make his debut on short notice. But I just don't know. He doesn't seem like he's got a lot of power. He's a guy that he walks forward and he's willing to fight and he's willing to throw down. But Rahiki, he got dropped twice on the Contender Series, and so that's definitely a cause for concern. I just don't know if Hardwick has the power to hurt him. And I know Hardwick's going to be in his face, and Hardwick's going to be there to be hit. And I know Rahiki's got power. I mean, he landed 2 knockdowns of his own in that fight on the Contender Series and, finished that fight. So, I don't know. I think Hardwick's probably better than what we saw. But, again, like, short notice or not, like, he definitely showed he does not have the ability to stop or to check leg kicks. Like, I mean, it was a pretty easy path for him to get butchered with those leg kicks. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a tough fight to really have a real strong opinion on because you got a debuting fighter and you got a guy that, his debut was on very short notice. So he's probably better than what we saw. But yeah, I think Rahiki's just the more dangerous of the two. And over the course of 3 rounds, I feel like he probably lands the bigger shots. And that's probably going to be enough. And, I suppose you could finish him. But, yeah, I like Rahiki here.
Like, I guess I don't mind a Rahiki KO. or inside the distance. I guess I don't know. Maybe I'll look into it a little more, but
Yeah,
not
this is
excited.
one of those ones when, we'll see how the night goes.
Because I was high on Rahiki going into his Contender Series fight, and it kind of like had me. I had money on him by knockout, and he kind of had me like I was kind of stressed out in that fight.
Yeah, it's
So,
stressful when the guy gets dropped twice. But
yeah,
he found a way to battle back. But yeah, I mean, it's tough to really be overly confident. You got a debuting guy and a guy that barely made a debut. So who knows? But I like
yeah,
Rahiki. I think he gets it done. And we'll see how the night goes. If I cash some tickets, maybe I'll have a Rahiki KO prop live in that one. But yeah, I mean, tough to really be too confident. All right, the UFC page is not working for this fight. Our next fight is in the featherweight division. We got Andre Fili taking on Jose Delgado. Fili guy that you've been a fight fan for a long time. You know who he is. He's been around a very long time. He's had a pretty mixed bag of results in the UFC. And Jose Delgado is a guy that, he's come in, he's looked good. He's shown he's got some power. He can fight 3 rounds. And, Fili's getting up there in age. So, but we have seen Fili knock back a few contenders in the past. What do you think? You think he can do it again here?
I don't know. I'm a big Andre Fili guy. Andre Touchy Fili guy. Generally, I like him. We have a lot in common. We both love the big booty Latinas. It's a great thing, beautiful thing. But he's kind of just inconsistent. Like, you look at his record lately, he's pretty decent striker. He's pretty tough. He's okay grappler, I guess. I mean, but, that Ezekiel Costa, that Melky Costa sub was kind of wild how he locked up that guillotine, which was it's pretty crazy, But you look at his record. I mean, he had a great performance against C-Rod in his last fight.
Right.
I backed him in that fight. Great performance there, and yeah, I mean, you see, look at his, his record, alternating win loss, win loss, win loss, win loss, win loss, win loss, pretty much the whole time down. I mean, his whole career is pretty much win loss, win loss, win loss. If you look at it, it's actually kind of funny, but yeah, he's been in the UFC for a while. We know what we're getting out of him pretty much by now. Yeah, it's pretty hard to read, pretty hard fighter to read. But if you indicate off his win-loss, he's probably due for a loss. And, he's getting up there kind of in age. He's been around. He's 35 years old, been in the UFC forever. Yeah, I don't know. And then Jose Delgado's kind of one of these young guns coming up, kind of, just looking to, roll through people. I mean, I really like this kid. I'm high on this kid. I love his boxing. He's got big power. He's a finisher. You hit your chin, you're probably going to sleep. Yeah, we've seen it in his last fight, the Nathaniel Wood fight. I mean, it was he almost absolutely knocks out Nathaniel Wood in the first round. And then Nathaniel Wood kind of just, fought through it and, yeah, and ended up just doing what Nathaniel Wood does and kind of just pushed the pace on him and kind of just, I think that was Delgado's first fight to decision. So, I mean, he didn't look too bad going the 15 minutes. He looked like he was still there, but Nathaniel Wood just, I don't know, it was a close fight. I kind of edged Delgado in that fight a little bit, maybe because I had money on him. I was kind of biased, but yeah, I mean, it was a close fight, and yeah, but usually this guy's pretty much just touching you and putting you away. And I don't know if Fili has that durability anymore to take a big punch, I think this kid Delgado has a lot of potential. I think he's a killer. And yeah, I think he knocks out Andre Fili and unfortunately puts him to bed.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of the way this fight's going to go. I saw the pictures. They did the pictures of the fighters posing, and Feely looked to me. He looked old. Like he's not that old, really. But he looked old. He looked a little bit soft. So, um, it's tough to judge because it's just a picture. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like his durability's gone down a little bit. He does get himself in bad spots at times, which I don't like. And Delgado just seems like he's kind of on the rise, and this is kind of the UFC putting a decent name in front of him. Win over Feely is a pretty solid win for a guy like Delgado. So, yeah, I think Delgado gets it done. I could see him finishing this fight, and I just feel like Feely is. He always, every once in a while, he turns back the clock and looks like $1,000,000. But I feel like at some point, his style kind of fades off, and I think he's getting to that point. So give me Delgado here. All right, our next fight is in the light heavyweight division. We got Ion Cutelaba taking on Omar Sy. Sy is a guy that has a very strong grappling base, and he's a big dude. And Cutelaba is a guy that he can kind of do it all. He's got grappling, he's got big power. He's another one of these guys though that's he's been in there with the best of the best. He's had some pretty good success. He's had some big wins, and he's had some losses where you kind of question the IQ a little bit. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, Cutelaba is kind of a guy, kind of a car crash kind of fighter, like kind of kill or be killed. Not the greatest of cardio. I mean, he's going to go in there. He's going to try to take your head off. He's got, some pretty good power, decent striking. I mean, grappling. I mean, we've seen him kind of use it before. But the defensive grappling, I think, is a big liability. He can't be taken down and grappled himself. Yeah, he's kind of just like a fan-friendly, kind of just car crash kind of fighter. Hit or miss. I mean, he can look like $1,000,000 one night, or he can just get absolutely starched on another night. So never really know what you're going to get with the Hulk. He dresses up like a fucking madman at the weigh-ins, and he's an entertaining guy to watch, entertaining fighter. And then this Umar Sy guy is kind of just, I don't know what to make of him. He's a big, strong, physical, guy, really strong grappling, but he seems to kind of wants to strike more and not really go to his grappling. Like, I don't know. He couldn't take down Alonzo Menafield, and when he tried, he was already too gassed to even do it. That fight was an absolutely, horrible look. But he bounces back against Brenson Ribeiro and takes him down and just puts his fucking head into the mat, which he should have been doing in the Menafield fight. So I don't know if he kind of fell in love with his hands and wants to be a striker, or what he wanted to do in that Menafield fight. But, his clear path is just taking guys down, use the power, get the double leg, drag the motherfucker to the ground, and grab the submission or fucking smash this dude on the mat. I like Sy here to get the takedown and fucking smash his ass and probably sub him. And I think he does that. But if he doesn't and keeps it on the feet, I think it could be really close. If he's not smart and doesn't go for takedowns, it's going to be a super close fight on the feet. But if he takes it down and uses the least path of resistance, should be a pretty easy night, and you should get a bonus. So, yeah, I like Sy here. Sy inside the distance, Sy by sub.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Menafield fight was maybe a learning experience for him, because I remember that night distinctly. We were extremely.
We were on the takedowns. Yeah, we had the over 2.5 takedowns, and he got one takedown in that fight. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, and it was like kind of late in the fight. So yeah, I mean that was not a good look, but I feel like maybe a learning experience for him. Comes back, okay, I got to do what what I'm good at. And this matchup here, I mean, he can definitely exploit that, and he has a pretty clear path. So as long as he's not fighting like an idiot, I think he's going to get it done. And go for the grappling early, and get it done. And Kudalaba is a guy who's, he's gotten himself put in submissions before. He's put himself in bad spots, and if C comes out and grapples, he should win this fight, and there's a very good chance he finishes. So, give me Omar C here as well. All right, that brings us to our co-main event of the evening. We got Amanda Lemos taking on Jillian Robertson. Lemos, she's got good power on the feet. She's got some decent takedown defense, but she has been grappled in the past. It's been, she's had that hole in her game. Jillian, not much of a striker, but she's extremely dangerous when the fight gets to the mat. Her jiu-jitsu's pretty elite in this division. She is, willing to take a couple shots to get the fight to the mat. Her grappling, her wrestling is not the greatest, so she's not, you can't just count on her to land a big takedown and absolutely get the fight to the mat. But, she's improved overall. I mean, her striking's come a long way, and her takedowns have evolved a little bit. But what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, this is an interesting one. Rebooking of this fight. I think we were supposed to have this fight, I think, either late last year or early this year. I think it was late last year, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't remember when it was. Got canceled because Lemos had the herp on her lip, so got canceled. And yeah, this is an interesting matchup here because, I mean, Lemos is, there's a big advantage here on the feet. I mean, Lemos the striking, it's not even close. I mean, Julian on the feet, she's made improvements on the feet, but it's just not the greatest. You can say that. It's kind of just, she's not a great striker. And Lemos is, she's powerful on the feet. She's got, pretty good striking, pretty good boxing. She's got really good front chokes. I've noticed she's got some good front chokes. She will jump Gilly, which is not something you want to see. But yeah, she was tough. And even in the Tatiana Suarez fight, Tatiana Suarez she was able to get takedowns, but she never really threatened anything on the ground, which was pretty surprising. And then Suarez gassed in that. And by the third round, Lemos was kind of just walking her down, beating her up in that third round. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting, because if it's on the feet, I favor Lemos pretty heavily here. But Jillian, like you said, getting the takedowns hasn't always been the easiest for her, and but I mean, she has made a lot of improvements, I think, recently in her she's on a nice little run here. I think it's like a 4-fight win streak. I think her last loss was the Tabitha Ricci fight. And Ricci pretty much did what she had to do to beat her. I mean, she stuffed all the takedowns and just pieced her up on the feet. Can Lemos do that? I mean, Lemos' takedown defense is kind of meh. I'm not too sure, and once Robertson gets it to the mat, she's not like one of these other girls. She's going to look to finish. She's going to lay ground and pound. I mean, the finishing ability isn't necessarily, I don't think, the greatest. She can finish on the ground. She has good ground and pound. The submissions are pretty good. This is kind of a style clash here. I mean, I want to pick Jillian. I think Jillian probably gets the takedowns, but I don't know if I bet this free. I'm not too sure. I mean, if Lemos can stuff the takedowns, I think she absolutely destroys Jillian. I don't know. This is kind of a tough one for me, but I think Robertson probably gets the job done and gets the takedowns, but I'm not very I don't know. I'm not blown away to run to go bet it for some reason. I don't know. I've got a weird feeling about this one. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of have the same weird feeling because if she does struggle to get the takedowns, she's live to get knocked out. but Lemos is definitely getting up there in age a little bit too.
Yeah.
The Tatiana fight, like, I don't know, Tatiana, Patchy Mix, that combination, since they've been together, neither one of them have been able to win, anything. So I don't know what's going on there. But I mean, I don't know. I think Jillian's just got the toughness, and she knows how she has to win the fight. So you can count on her to go for the takedowns and force the grappling exchanges. So I think Jillian finds a way to get the fight to the mat. And once it's on the ground, I feel like she's got a huge advantage. So I think she does. I think she wins this fight. But yeah, I mean, there's some risk here. It's definitely some risk here. I think Lemos definitely has some big power, but if she gets taken down, Jillian's gonna, Jillian throws the ground and pound. She's a savage. I mean, that's her nickname. Her nickname's Savage, and when she's on the ground, that's exactly what she is. Yeah, no, she's the younger of the two. I think Jillian finds a way, and I think she probably finds a sub here, and yeah, I mean, definitely some risk, but I think Jillian gets it done, and I think she probably subs her. All right, that brings us to our main event of the evening. We've got a potential changing of the guard here. Josh Emmett, guy who's been around top 5, top 10 in the UFC for pretty much his whole career. I mean, the dude's got as much power as you're going to find in the featherweight division, ever. I mean, the dude's got dynamite in his hands. Taking on Kevin Vallejos here, who also seems to have some dynamite in his hands. Well-rounded guy, younger guy here. He's on a nice little run. This is Emmett. It's always tough to bet against Emmett as a huge underdog, but Vallejos has shown he's got all the skills. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I like this Vallejos kid. I mean, I think there's a lot of potential. This kid could be the next thing. I mean, we've seen him in this Contender Series fight against John Silva. I mean, he went in there and went to war with John Silva, and it was a great fight. Great fight. And I really like his combinations. He rips the body, rips the head, well-rounded. I mean, I don't really see a hole in his game too much. He's pretty much a complete fighter, and he's young. So I mean, there's nothing but upside with this kid, and he's pretty good. I mean, that Giga fight, I mean, he was kind of struggling with Giga early, and then just absolutely caught him with that head kick and just starched him, which was a pretty crazy knockout. And yeah, I mean, Josh Emmett, we know what he's pretty much at here, and he's an old man, pretty low volume. I mean, he's got a wrestling background, doesn't use it. Kind of just, now, I mean, he's kind of down, he's in his 40s. He's kind of down to just that one singular kind of shot. That is his only method now, is if he catches you with that big punch, kind of like what he did to Bryce Mitchell and had him kind of shaking on the ground this season. So, I mean, that's pretty much his path. If you're betting Josh Emmett, you're pretty much just taking Josh Emmett KO, because I don't see him winning in any other way. So I think this is a pretty much, I mean, like you said, passing of the guard. I don't even think it's that. I think Emmett's pretty much cooked, and this is just giving Vallejos kind of just the name in the main event. They're clearly trying to pump this kid up. So yeah, I like Vallejos here. I mean, Emmett's pretty tough. I mean, he did get taken down and subbed in his. I think he got subbed by, it was a law, right? Or I think he got taken. Yeah, that was not a good look for him. I don't really know if that's Vallejos' game though. So
yeah, And
I
Zalal's good too. Like, I mean,
yeah,
so
he's good. Yeah.
give him his credit.
So I think this is pretty much a Vallejos cakewalk. I don't know if he knocks him out. I'm going to say Vallejos by decision here. And yeah, we've seen Emmett take a lot of damage, like the Taporia fight. I mean, he took an absolute beating. But then again, the durability might be going. So it's
Yeah.
kind of, it's like, but I think he's tough enough to make it to a decision here. So yeah, the pick for me is probably Vallejos by decision.
Yeah, I like Vallejos too. I feel like betting maybe an over 2.5, maybe 3.5 might be a little bit safer because
Yeah.
Vallejos definitely does have some power, and it's a 5-round fight, so he could get him out of there. But yeah, I mean, overall, Vallejos first 5-round fight in the UFC, he's probably gonna just mind his P's and Q's early, because the last thing to go is the power. So, Josh Emmett definitely is going to have the power threat. But I think Vallejos' volume is going to be better. Kind of just pick him apart a little bit early, and then maybe turn it on a little bit later in the fight. But like you said, that Taporia fight, Taporia was beating the piss out of Josh Emmett. I mean, he was smashing him, and that fight somehow went all 5. And I bet I think I had Taporia over 3.5 in that one, and I was nervous for most of it, and then I'm going 5 rounds. So Josh Emmett definitely tough as they come, but Father Time undefeated, and I could see him getting finished at some point here. But yeah, I like Vallejos to win. I think it probably gets into the 3rd, 4th round for sure. Decision, yeah. I mean, it's definitely on the table. But yeah, I like Vallejos to win, and yeah, I don't know. I think there's an outside chance that he gets him out of there, but it is tough to bet that Josh Emmett gets knocked out. So yeah, give me Vallejos. Maybe over 2.5. That's probably not the greatest of prices. Maybe over 3.5, but that's the way I'm going to be looking at it. All right, so that's the fight. That's the card broken down. I don't think we disagreed on any fights, so that's hopefully a good sign. Usually, when we're on the same page, we do pretty well. Now, I guess we put together a little parlay here, see what we can come up with.
Got my leg.
All right, let me pull it up real quick. Well, why don't you go ahead and tell me what your leg is, and then
It's going to be Delgado KO. Even money.
Delgado KO, I like. Even money, I like. So that means I can be somewhat safe here and get us a decent number. What do I want to do? Man, what do I feel good about? Delgado KO. All right, let's see what this looks like. I do kind of like oral by. Wait, oral by.
Yeah,
I'm clicking.
fine
I'm
with
looking.
Orban.
I almost want to just say. I almost just want to go oral by.
Yeah, we do that. It's plus 163.
Yeah, yeah. I feel that's not bad. I like that.
Yeah. All right, and then DFS. Um, I mean, Vallejos is kind of, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of good, like Vallejos, Delgado, Orbai, C. I kind of like Umar C, 8,800.
Yeah, a guy that you expect to grapple
To get takedowns and get an early
for
finish, maybe.
for less than 9K.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, I
Um,
like Omar C. Um, I mean, Elijah Smith's in there at 8,500. I like.
yeah, that's not bad. I like that.
He can score.
And I don't mind Sam Hughes, 7,800. I
I
mean,
was just looking at that too. Yeah, Sam Hughes.
Elijah Smith and Omar C. I like that.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't.
yeah,
Yeah,
Hughes scored 30 in a loss against Rodriguez the first time. I definitely think she can win.
like her last point output 105, 97, 81. I mean,
Yeah, she's gonna score well in a win.
yeah,
And I mean, she doesn't score bad in losses.
the losses 35, 34, 30. Yeah, I like that. We'll go with those three. We'll go C, Smith, and Hughes. And that leaves you with 8,300. You can do whatever you want, pretty
Yeah,
much.
I like that. That's a
Yep.
good way to go. I think Sam Hughes is about as safe a dog as you could ask for.
Yeah.
She's going to be in that fight, so
Yep.
I like it. All right, well, that's it. We got another busy weekend. We'll have NASCAR. We got the Cup Series. We got the O'Reilly Series. I don't think we have Truck Series this weekend, which I'm looking forward to getting some truck races back. But tune in. We'll be live Saturday, and yeah, I mean it's been good so far. The last couple of weeks in NASCAR have been great, and we dominated the UFC a couple weeks ago. Last week was more of a mixed bag, but I feel pretty good about what we got going on coming into this one. And yeah, we always find live winners in the UFC. So yeah, tune in. And I guess that's it. Johnny, if you got anything else, let us know. Otherwise, we'll get out of here.
No, that's it.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. Give us a like, give us a share, and we will see you Saturday. We're out.
Laters.